Thank you, David. Just leave it there.
Yeah.
What are you selecting for us today?
Well, Matt turned his nose up at my cup of tea yesterday, so why not have a full-fat Rioja?
Oh,
Glass of Rioja this evening.
Massive.
It's like massive, giant glass.
Very good. Always drink responsibly.
Yeah, obviously.
Today's confession comes from Roger. Father Simon and the Confessional Collective. We must now go back to the 1970s, a very different time for many. I was primary school age and at home. We had a television with a meter on the side.
Oh.
It was a rental television, and you put 50p's in if you wanted to watch something.
Of course, yeah.
Wow.
150p would give you a timed view. TV use had been budgeted, and Mum had a pile of 50p's on the box for daily views of our permitted watching. We all enjoyed the TV, so it was a treat to have the box for entertainment on dark evenings. If you wanted to watch the programme, you had to put in 50p in the box. In our home at this time, if a child was ill, they remained at home and a neighbour checked on them, or Mum came home at lunchtime, or you just remained inside the home in your pyjamas and got better.
Okay,
That's the way we treated illness. The doctor would even visit, knowing the key would be on a string, which was just through the letterbox. A very different time indeed.
Very.
I was gifted a childhood of several sickly times, and I was known for this by the doctor. I had many days at home with the television and no supply of funds for wasting on daytime viewing. See, even then, you didn't want to waste your time on daytime viewing. I had exhausted my books, dotted everything I could, finished all the math sheets, scrubbed the kitchen cooker, the entire house actually. I studied ants on new overhead lines that entered the property. I drew pictures of damp patches on the carpet and mould on the shower curtain. Anyway, you get the picture.
Yeah.
I dreamed of being able to watch the Hollywood afternoon film that would be shown on the TV. But how could I get the TV to work without having any money? If it wasn't Penny for the Guy or Christmas carol singing, we had no way of earning money in those days. This is a very period piece, this one is. There was no TV budget for a sickly child, and my plan was the perfect answer. I've never heard of this being done, okay? I pressed each coin into soft plasticine. I popped that in the freezer for an hour.
Wow.
I would then take out the 50p coins, return the coins to the meter box, ready for permitted viewing, and then filled each plasticine indentation, each mould with water, and popped the block back into the freezer. When it came out, I got a frozen piece of ice, obviously, shaped like a 50p. It slotted nicely into the push-turn mechanism, dropped to the box, bang.
Wow.
I had the power.
Oh, I say.
Weeks and weeks of Elvis, Fred and Ginger, Gene Kelly, Dancing in the Rain, film after film. It was beginning my adoration of Barbra Streisand was right now with my frozen 50p's, all funded by my ice currency. If anyone came in to check on me and the TV was on, I would say, oh, it's just a little bit left over from yesterday. It'll probably go off in a minute. And then load another ice coin into the machine. I was a genius. So proud of myself. A new currency and more reliable than cryptocurrency and safer.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
So then I told my brother, and he enjoyed some extra viewing too, before Mum got home from work. It was turning into a sweet deal. That is, until the man who empties the TV box arrived. Mum had even warned me he was coming before leaving for work. If he leaves any extra 50p's for us as a rebate, you can have 2, she called out as she left for work. Well, the TV man turned up. He opened the box. He looked inside. This is strange, he said. Is it, I asked? Is there any rebate? He went into the kitchen and I followed, thinking he needed the table to count all the 50p coins on from the usual viewing. He poured the contents of the box into the sink, and I watched as what looked like pints of water, followed by just 2 50p coins, real coins made of metal, flowed into the sink. Oh dear, I said, is that usual? I had to avoid discovery by playing it cool. Does the TV produce water as a byproduct of the electrical charge and the TV rays and the satellites and the telescopes?
Yeah.
I wasn't that good at science. No was the reply. This is very unusual, and no, water is not a byproduct of TV rays. A long pause while the man thought over every possibility. I'd already worked it out. I'd loaded too many 50p Coins made of ice. Yes, I think we've got that, Roger.
Yeah.
I guess he'd worked it out too, because he said, it looks like we need to take your TV in for repair. Curses. It was all over. The TV man took away my film viewing box, replaced it with a nice new one that broke the ice before it turned the coin.
Oh, no.
Progress is not all it's cracked up to be, Father Simon. I was too young to know if Mum was blamed or not, but I expect she was at some level. But it was all me. Am I forgiven? Well, let's just find out, because I think probably people will be looking on you in a generous state of mind, Roger. But let's check in with Sister Susie. What do you make of Roger's television 50p ice confession?
Well, Roger, what I have to say first is obviously water and electricity is not a good mix. So that is, first of all, be careful and don't do what Roger did. Not that you can with a meter telly now, but I have to say, I think I'm going to forgive you, Roger, because, you know, all the things you did when you were ill, plus the confidence you had when the meter man came over, that alone deserves forgiveness, I think. So from my book, apart from the slight danger, I forgive you.
Just the feebleness of the mechanism which would thought a 50p coin made of ice was actually proper currency. Brother from another gutter.
I mean, obviously, we go along with what Sue said about water and electricity. That said, what amazing ingenuity that was, being able to come up with that plasticine in the freezer and then water in the mould, and then it becomes ice, and then stick it in the telly. Oh, fabulous. I'm going to forgive just for the line, is that usual? No, not really. Not usual at all.
Oh, sorry, what do you...